Selfish parkers. Nothing gets my blood boiling more than people who park over the white line in a car park, thus taking up 2 spots. There are 7 billion people in the world. Some of us would like to park as well. It's very annoying. We know what's happened. You've got out of the car and you've seen you've parked over the white line, but you think if you jump back in your car and move it, people will judge you. However, we won't. What we will do is applaud you for actually getting back in your car and moving it so you're not being selfish and taking up 2 parking spaces. Traffic. I don't know what it's like in the rest of the world, but here in the UK, if you're trying to get into or out of a major metropolitan area at any time around 9 o'clock in the morning, 8 to 9 o'clock in the morning, or 5 o'clock at night, you're going to be in traffic. Those rush hours, as we all call them, are because everyone's trying to get to or from the same place at the same time, and there's too many cars on the road. Simples. We understand this, we accept this, we know this is a part of daily life. So why does the person 3 cars in front of me think to stop 2 lanes of cars by cutting across to the next lane to try and advance by 1 space in the queue is going to help anyone? In fact, what it does is infuriates everyone. Well, to that person in the car, I've got news for you. We're all in it together, so buckle up, stay put, and shut up. Roadworks. Here in the UK, roadworks are everywhere. We know this, we know it's a necessary evil. They have to be there in order to keep the road network in a drivable condition. It's a bit questionable around here sometimes, but yes, we accept that, we know that. So why, when we drive through roadworks that have been around for ages and been blocking up roads and slowing down traffic, is there never actually anyone working on the roadworks? Not far from where I live are 2 major motorways, one of which has had roadworks on now for the past 4 or 5 years, where we join up to it. As far as we can tell, nothing's actually happened. It's had speed restrictions for the last 5 years, it's had lane closures for the last 5 years, yet nothing seems to be moving. I know I'm outside of my knowledge sphere discussing this because I don't work in the road section, I have no idea what it's about. However, just for our peace of mind, employ 1 person. They don't even have to be trained, just to walk up and down the roadworks inside the cones where it's safe with a shovel, just so it looks like someone's actually working there. That will give all the drivers peace of mind to know that they are being slowed down and being stuck in traffic for a purpose. Lane hogs. In the UK, I don't know what it's like in the rest of the world, but in the UK, whilst driving on major roads or motorways, you always drive in the left-hand lane. The other 2, 3 or 4 lanes are for overtaking purposes only, unless of course there's an obstruction in lane 1 or you're going faster than lane 1. That's how it works. You're only supposed to overtake in those lanes and then pull straight back across to the left-hand lane where it's safe to continue a journey. Why then? Why do people insist on sitting in the middle lane doing probably 5 miles an hour under the speed limit, causing me and lots of other motorists to go from the inside lane across 3 lanes of traffic to overtake them legally, cut round the front of them, and then cut back across another 3 lanes of traffic again to get back into the lane where I'm supposed to be? Why are you sitting there? Sit in the left-hand lane. If you go at the speed limit, anyone who wants to overtake you can do, but everyone else will sit behind you. If you want to go slower than the speed limit, then we all can overtake you perfectly safe. What are you doing? This is something that was taught to us all when we learnt to drive, and in the highway code, and just general good practice. Stay in the left-hand lane. Why are you sat in the middle lane? Because you're being a dick. Cost. It's astronomical, the cost of driving a car in the UK these days. Don't know what it's like in the rest of the world, but you have to pay for the car itself, either buy it outright or on a plan. You then have to pay insurance, then you have to pay road tax, and of course you've got the astronomical price of fuel, general wear and tear, tyres, things like that. The list is endless. In the UK, once you pass your driving test, you normally, well, the legal age is 17, but you're either 17, 18, however old you are. Once you pass your driving test, obviously you then need to go get a car and insure it. The trouble is, in the UK, the insurance costs now are probably 5, 6, 7 times the average value of the vehicle those people are driving. Why? Why would they buy insurance when they can just drive the car, and if it gets impounded, it gets impounded? It's ridiculous. Fuel is a constant cost in this country as well. It's currently about £1.15 a litre. Now, a litre is half a big bottle of Coke, or I think roughly 0.2 of a US gallon. So that's roughly about $1.52, 53 cents per just under a quarter of a gallon of fuel, which is at the moment actually quite a cheap price in this country. It has been up to $1.40, $1.50 before. I think it's because the demand has dropped due to the current lockdown, that no one's actually burning petrol, so they can't sell it. Don't forget road tax. In the UK, if you're driving a vehicle on the road, you have to pay a certain amount of money in tax per year to have that vehicle using the public roads. I understand the fact that they need money to repair the roads. I understand there's wear and tear on the roads. That's fine. They do have a new system now for road tax. It used to be every vehicle was taxed, but now it's more of you're taxed on what carbon emissions your vehicle does. So if you've got a slightly older car because you can't afford to buy a new car because they're expensive, you actually have to pay more money to drive the same roads that newer cars do for cheaper. Or in some cases, if you buy a hybrid or one of those little tiny diesel engine ones, or electric car, say, no road tax, free. But they're still using the road and wearing it out. Now, I understand that I think that the new vehicles now are all registered for a set value of road tax, because I think they were realising everyone else was driving electric vehicles now, so they were losing money. I myself am paying currently just over £200 a year road tax on top of everything else, but I only do roughly 3,000 miles a year when I'm allowed out of the house, of course. So that works out to roughly 6p a mile on top of fuel and tyres and wear and tear and everything else. It's not a cheap game. It's quite annoying. In conclusion, I know we all need and rely on our cars. I do, you do, everyone does. We have to go shopping, we have to look after the elderly relatives, we have to drop things off, we have to not do anything at the moment because we're locked in, but that's the way the cookie crumbles at the moment in time. But with all these mounting costs and things on vehicles and the stresses and strains of traffic and things like that, I can understand why road rage is becoming so common. People are stressed out, and this current lockdown situation does not help. Annoyance vented.